it's, oh, well, she's this age, or she's done this, or I think she might have, oh, she's divorced, you better watch out, or yeah, that marriage didn't work, and what was it her fault, or she was married twice, whatever the case may be, there's some bias. Assalamu alaikum, peace, it's Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the new book, Let's Talk Polygyny Uncensored. Now, this video, guys, I want to talk about something that's pretty serious, and let's just jump into the title. The title would be, How to Turn Up into a Co-Wife. What does that mean? What it means is that there is a judgment. This is a serious judgment that all subsequent wives are, it's a very derogatory term to use against another woman, another wife that has these intentions of creating a healthy environment for everyone, including herself. So when she's met with what she used to do, what she isn't, which is that, derogatory word, when she's called names, when she's treated as though she's less than or just a housekeeper, or people try to, and people meaning this is usually from other wives or society, but I've found it to be, society's going to think what they think of women in polygyny. They just will. They're going to drag them. They're going to say, you know, you've been brainwashed, the man got money, that's why you stand with him. Whatever they feel is how they feel. I'm not signing up for that class because I'm not renting space in my head for their judgments. I just don't. Can't operate that way. I don't want to operate that way. I have mothering to do. I have businesses to run. I have people that I want to help. So I'm not talking to the ones that don't want it, ain't asking for it, but they want to sit and judge, okay? I ain't talking to them. So, anywho, I'm talking about them, though, in that there's this judgment that there's so much that a subsequent wife is doing that is not being done. There's so much of, well, she used to do this in her past, you know, or, and that's not saying that she's doing anything that is immoral. It's just saying that there's a judgment, or she has children from other marriages, you know, which would make the initial wife or the husband have bonus babies, you know, and so there's this unfair score, you know, there's like this unfair scoreboard that's kind of happening in the polygyny community. I want to be specific, where it's, oh, well, she's this age, or she's done this, or I think she might have, oh, she's divorced, you better watch out, or yeah, that marriage didn't work, and what was it her fault, or she was married twice, whatever the case may be. There's some bias. There's a lot of bias in just going, okay, since this person is here, let me rain down all this horrible judgment and assumptions, and she's trying to do this, everything's so diabolical. Now, with that being said, though, there are some that have a disease in their heart. There are some that are evil. There are some that are doing things and trying to make themselves look better than what they are in a way that is destructive. Of course, we all striving to be better versions of ourselves. And people say, well, that's kind of cliche. Let me tell you something. It's a thing. It's something that we're striving to do because we want to have a life of fulfillment. And it's not just because we're going, okay, let me be better so I can fulfill these other people. We have to feel that within ourselves, and we have to strive for it within ourselves. Can we make you do anything? No, I say that all the time. Can't nobody make anybody do anything. And you can't make people stop judging you or anything like that. I'm simply saying that to be a co-wife is not just, okay, let me just go back into your past and look at what you've done versus who you are today. Because we don't really know anybody. We don't know them like they know themselves. We don't know their story. We don't know what they've been through. And if they are strong enough, vulnerable enough to share it with us, meeting them with judgment is not the way to go. It's not the way to have a healthy relationship with co-wife to co-wife.
Pardon the interruption. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that you could thrive better in the community that's more supportive? Now, I already know the answer to that. But did you know that Outstanding Personal Relationships actually has a community that is supportive and where we really hang out a lot? It has a number of areas and things like, for example, I deal with the men in the Kings and Men section where we discuss a number of different men issues, whether it's polygyny related, parenting related, whatever it may be. This is where we communicate and connect.
And as an introvert, I love the idea of an online community. So we have that. And to be able to speak with like-minded people, speak with other wives, wives, whether you're an incoming wife, whether you're a first wife, you're a wife, period, in general, you only practicing monogamy, whatever the case may be, to be able to be in a community with people who understand what you're going through, understand any type of issues you have, and also being in a place where you have support from others, where it's not all over social media for everybody else to see.
Yes, and it is a safe space. So if you guys want to see us or if you want to connect with us, come to our community.
Indeed. And like they said, it's private. All right. So you don't have to worry about your stuff being all over the place or all on social media, trying to find the comments and go scroll. We have the subjects. We have all this type of stuff. Just go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. Look on the top of the page. Click on community. We look forward to seeing you there. Back to the video.
So there's much in what I'm saying. Let's not judge one another. If you don't have to be friends, if you don't want to be friends, that's cool. You don't have to be friends. It's not required of you to be friends. I just happen to be friends with my specific co-wife, But I've had people say this to me. This was years ago, y'all. A lot of this stuff was early into polygyny. They'd be like, well, she has kids from another marriage, or other relationships or another marriage. And we're like, oh, she's divorced. What in the world does that have to do with me exactly? Because that's not my business. Some of what our husband does ain't my business. But this is not a revolving door of wives. There's two of us. So we specifically know where our husband is. And he specifically knows where we are. This ain't swapping diseases and sleeping with each other. We're not doing none of that. This ain't sneaky links. There's structure. There's marriage here. There's morals here. There are guidelines here that we all three abide by. Now, everybody's not that way. That's fine. But everybody's not that way either. So I can't just make a blanket statement and say, everybody that's in polygyny and in this structured alternative form of marriage is full of disease. Now, some people do abuse it. We're not going to act like they don't. They abuse women. They abuse men. They abuse the rights. They ignore the rights. They rob. They do all kinds of stuff. But I like to talk to people that have healthy hearts. If you got a disease in your heart and you evil, ain't no helping that. Ain't no helping that. You done reached so far into evil. I mean, hopefully, prayerfully, some people can come back from it if they know it's something. Let's say, for example, y'all, let's say they don't know they're doing something wrong. They just know what they want, they're thinking of them. Maybe it's not this huge plan, this plot twist. Maybe it's not that. Maybe they just don't know the way. I'm not talking about the people that don't know the way and they making mistakes and, oh, I could have did that better. I know I wasn't acting right there. I shouldn't have did that. And they're holding themselves accountable because of certain emotions might arise. And that's their raw reaction. I get that. But to sit up and make plays and plots and plans and try to cause discord and chaos and destruction and put evil intentions in it. Well, yeah, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna mess that up and then I'm gonna act a fool over here and I'm gonna wreck the day and I'm gonna and watch me get rid of her. Or she's a this, she's a that. I'm gonna call her out her name. I have so many friends that have talked to me about, you want marriage, you want everything to come together, but maybe the other person's not willing, and then you have a divorce. But then they get to start over and marry again. Maybe it'll take them years and years. Maybe they don't feel like marriage is safe anymore. But then they say, yeah, I'm going to get married again. And then they get met with judgment. Oh, she's divorced. I'll tell you something. Everybody has different culture. Everybody have different backgrounds, ethnicities, things that they practice. So I remember there was this divorce that happened. It was specifically in a Desi community. And this woman had 6 or 7 kids. And I was hopeful for her. I said, well, maybe she'll find love again after the divorce. Maybe she'll find a solid marriage that she wants. And this other woman, she was Desi, she was Pakistani or Indian, I believe. And she said, no, Fatimah, that's not how it works in our community. And I said, what you mean? Y'all know me. I said, what you mean? And she was like, oh no, she's no good anymore. I said, what? Because I'm thinking, I got plenty of kids. I'm like, dang, what you mean she ain't no good no more? And she said, in our culture, with brown people, specifically Indian Pakistani people, once she's divorced, she's considered, that's it, garbage. Nobody's going to want her. She used goods. I was like, what? And it hurt me because it's hurtful to hear that just because she did something moral, just because it didn't end up like she dreamed it would, and it ended in divorce.